When you wake up in the morning, how do you start your day? Many people immediately take out their phones, look at their messages, and are bombarded by a rush of incoming data. But in doing so, we begin our day in a reactive state, allowing external stimuli to become the foundation of our day. And with that starting point, it's all too easy for the entire day to become one long reactive experience. Highly successful people do not immediately look at their phones upon waking. Rather, they engage in mindful, productive tasks upon waking, creating productive momentum to their morning. And this allows them to choose what to think about, what to focus on, enabling them to accomplish their goals throughout the day. And instead of allowing external stimuli to guide their waking thoughts, they replace that with mindful, guided, and goal-oriented thinking. And davening tefillah in the morning accomplishes this exact goal, providing us with a structured way to begin our day with mindfulness and directed thought. Parshat Naso features the Chanukas HaMishkan, the inauguration of the tabernacle. And at this ceremony, the Nisim, the princes of each Shevet, contributed spectacular gifts towards the Mishkan. And Chazal explained that these donations were intended to be a tikkun, a rectification of their previous sin. Because earlier on in Parshas Vayakhel, the Nisim are criticized for their delay in donating gifts to the Mishkan. Because in the interim, the Jewish people donated everything needed for the Mishkan, and that left the Nisim with nothing to give. However, their intentions were pure. They planned to wait and see what was still needed in the Mishkan after the rest of Klal Yisrael donated, and then give whatever was still needed. So rather than overlap their gifts, they wanted to ensure that the donation process was properly completed. However, when Klal Yisrael finished their donations, there was nothing left to give. So the Nisim, due to their delay, lost out on their chance to contribute towards the Mishkan. Now, the Nisim are criticized for their actions, and they clearly regretted them because they proactively donated elaborate gifts later on during the Chanukas HaMishkan. But their original calculations seemed valid, if not ideal, because why donate something that was already given? They wanted to ensure that their gift will be worthwhile, so why do we view their actions, or lack thereof, in such a negative light? So in order to understand this, we have to first understand the nature and meaning of chesed, which is loosely translated as kindness in giving. The Maharal explains that there are two distinct forms of giving. The first is responsive, when a person gives only in response to a need. And the second is proactive. It's when a person gives purely for the sake of giving, which reflects a compelling internal desire to give and help others. And then the Nisim's mistake lay in being reactive instead of proactive. When you truly love someone, you give for the sake of giving, spontaneously, as an expression of overwhelming love. And if you love Hashem, you eagerly give to the Mishkan, even if there may be an overlap between the gifts. And yes, the practical concern about inventory can be dealt with at a later stage. But by waiting until the end, the Nisim displayed a slight lack in their love for Hashem. And they rectified their mistake at the Chanukas HaMishkan when they gave their gifts spontaneously and proactively. Whereas they gave last when it came to the building of the Mishkan, they gave first in its inauguration. But not only did they give first, they gave an identical gift. And this is a true expression of giving for the sake of giving, of being compelled to give by an overwhelming love for Hashem, not by an external need. And this brings us full circle. When you wake up in the morning, how do you start your day? Are you reactive, or do you proactively pave your path? Success doesn't come by accident. It comes from mindful planning, intense commitment, and consistent execution. If we live a reactive life, we'll wake up one day and wonder why we're so far from our desired destination. True success requires proactivity, and the virtue of proactivity stems from the midah of chesed, proactively seeking ways to do good, to help others, to improve the world around us. May we be inspired to become so full of love that we proactively seek out ways to contribute to those around us.